It's red now. You see it? It's recording. It's red.
I see it's red.
Everybody hold me accountable. It's
Lord
red.
have mercy.
I'm not
Lord
lying.
have
It's
mercy,
red.
man.
We good.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go,
Let's
man.
start the show.
Let's do it, man.
Impact. 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 In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore. And we are the Residual Impact Podcast.
Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
And then go apply to the community.
Let's grow.
Man, oh man.
Back again for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. This one right here. I will say it is a special one. Special because y'all don't know what we had to go through to get to this episode right here.
Yeah.
Mike knows. The production staff in the background knows.
Yeah.
But y'all don't know. And y'all probably won't know till the blooper video drops.
Lord have mercy.
But check this out. I will say that today has been an amazing day so far. I will not trade it in for anything. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know who it is. We've already introduced ourselves. This is the start of our first official recording for 2024.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Mike?
Man, I'm sleepy. Yeah. Being honest, I'm sleepy, but I'm good though. This year is a great year so far. I did start off not feeling well, so I had to overcome a little bit of sickness. But other than that, it's a great year, man. It's a lot of good, but it's also a lot of challenging things that we got to overcome. But just finding beauty in each day and never giving up, bro.
I believe that, man. That's real. For sure. Bro. That's real.
For sure.
2024, even though we are like 2 weeks in, and I know this episode is kind of late compared to how we would normally put out episodes for the year. But I mean, it's all good because we're here.
Yeah.
The consistency is here, even though it's not the level that we want it to be, but that's going to change this year because of a couple different things.
Why is that?
Number one, I want us to definitely hire some people, put some people on staff, other than, of course, the production staff behind the cameras. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for them. Shout out to y'all. Y'all can't see them in the background, but if y'all are watching us on Instagram Live, you know that we are not holding the cameras. Somebody else is.
We're not.
So I know, you guys are normally quiet behind the cameras, but I can go ahead and say what's up to the people. Y'all have been wonderful so far. We appreciate the hard work that y'all put in to help us out for the show. We appreciate y'all.
Yes.
And definitely this year we're going far. But for sure, we want to hire at least 2 people to help us with the editing because I for sure cannot do this by myself.
Nah, it's a fact, bro.
As of right now, it's like I do like 95% of the editing. You might do like 5%.
91.23%. I'll give around that.
Really?
91.23. I like that number.
So you think that you edit
at least 8-9%, give or take.
Really?
Sometimes 10%.
Really?
10%. I give myself 10%.
Okay, so all of the video clips on social media, all of our Instagram reels,
for sure,
all of our TikToks,
for sure,
you edit 8% of those?
10%.
10%.
10%.
The number went up. Wow. Okay.
Just about 10% of that.
I can probably count 2 or 3, maybe I'll give you 5 videos on our Instagram right now that you have edited.
I can give you 10. 10. I might have to go search, but I can give you 10.
Okay. So let's dig this. Out of how many posts do we have on Instagram? It's at least 500 posts. You gonna give me? You gonna say that you put up 10 of those?
We got 500 posts on Instagram.
Let's look at the gram real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse us.
We got 500 posts. That's amazing. If we got 500 posts, for real.
505 posts as we speak. So out of 505 posts right now, you gonna tell me you've edited 10% of those? Let's do some quick maths, shall we?
That'll be what, about 105?
50.5.
Oh yeah, I got about.
Go ahead.
Got about 50.
Tell the truth, the shame. You have 50
I
posts
got about 25, 30 in there. I do got about 25, 30.
that you've done by yourself.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you're very meticulous, so you've definitely put in some edits, but I can go back.
Some?
I mean, like, you'll change, like I'm saying, on mines. Like, you would change some stuff on mines if I do edit one. I'm looking back. I got about 30 in here. I got about a good 30.
Stop the cap.
I'm telling you, I got a good 30 in here.
Anyway, I want to hire at least 2 people to help us edit
Wow.
the show. One person to help us do full edits, the entire episode, and another person to chop up some clips for social media. I think that'll be great. That'll help us out quite a bit. That'll help me out quite a bit. Not discrediting any of the work that you do at all, because you're great. You're an amazing person, man. You are amazing when it comes to doing what you do best, which is speaking to the people.
Hey, freak all that. If you really go look back at all the stuff that we've done, bro, we've grown a lot. Like, just look at us, bro. Like, the stuff that we had early on looks so old. But it's not old, though. And it's just funny how we've just progressed. So I know if we just keep doing this, bro, we on our way to something, man. Because, dude, just looking, I literally went back to our very first post. And it's just like, man, we've come a long way, bro.
We have.
A long way, bro.
Almost 3 years in the making. So first of all, give it up to us for that. I will say that is a great accomplishment. And I would say a major accomplishment.
It is, bro.
2.5 years going on 3. And yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way, man. I mean, granted, we still have a good ways to go before we hit the major goals that we want to reach. But we've come so far.
For sure.
And I will say, I'm going to put a disclaimer on this because this is something that I was highly embarrassed by. But we just going to power through it.
What's that?
We're going to power through it. So we literally sat here and shot this episode.
Bruh.
We shot this episode. The cameras were rolling. But on me, it was my fault that the audio was not rolling. And we went, ladies, how long did we say that we went? Roughly about 45-ish minutes of recording without the audio from the soundboard. So we have video footage of what we recorded earlier. Mm-hmm. We have video footage of, our plans for the future, but the audio just isn't all that clear. Like, I will say, one of the things that I've accomplished so far in 2024, I bought myself a calendar. In addition to buying a calendar, I've bought myself a planner. And I literally gifted this man a planner as well so that we can run our business successfully together and write out our goals, write the vision, make it plain so whoever sees it shall run. That is my favorite verse from the Bible. I stated that while we were recording the first time around. This time it's recording. It's really recording.
Yeah.
I'll throw up the video so y'all can go ahead and see it, but the audio might not be super clear. But y'all go ahead and check this out. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore.
And we are the Residual Impact Podcast. Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
And then apply to the community.
Let's grow.
I love it.
Happy 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Thank each and every single one of you guys for listening to us today. We are back better than ever. And of course, as we're recording this, we are a little late on the New Year wishes. It is what it is. We on CP time this year, but that's only because, like I always say, life does what?
It be life.
Life really do be lifing. Before I actually get into how life has been lifing for me lately, let's just start the show how we normally do. And I just want to say thank each and every single one of you guys for watching us, for listening to us. We've been at this for 2.5 years. It's been amazing so far. 3rd year anniversary coming this summer. Like, that is wild to even think about it.
Wow.
And you guys are still here, tapped into the show. We greatly appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for yourselves. Real talk. I appreciate you. I know JaMichael appreciates you.
That's hard.
And we just gonna keep making it happen.
Like, we got a legit fan base. And we got like people that be wondering like, yo, where y'all at? When y'all don't post, they be on my head. They be like, yo, what's going on? I haven't seen no videos in a while. Like, I be like, yo, it's coming. Like, or just check out the latest one. So maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, it definitely helps when we have more than one person doing the editing. So if y'all are on JaMichael's head about the episodes and the clips and all that stuff not coming out in a timely manner, I need y'all to consistently be on this man's head because he knows how to edit a little bit so he can help out with the clips. He's actually done some in the past.
I have actually.
But
I ain't nice. I ain't that nice. I'm alright. I can hold my own.
But hey, it still helps. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact,
You cut a little,
that's a fact.
chop up some clips, add some text here and there.
He's right. It just won't be as detailed. Okay.
And that's quite all right, bro. It still takes some off of my back.
Oh, I believe that.
Because out of 100% of all the clips, I'd say I would probably do about 95.
Yeah,
and you do 5%.
I give me 92. I say give me 92. Give me at least 8%. Nah.
But do you really do 8% of the social media clips?
I mean, if we combine everything, I don't know.
Everything like what?
If you combine two.
Listen, sometimes you put up a post on the story and you don't even think about saving it to add to the other platforms because you have such a great message that you want to share, but only people who watch the story will get it.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't it for you if you didn't catch it. If you didn't catch it.
Hey, listen. All I'm gonna say is stay on top of this man's head. Like, be on his back, get on him. Like, hey, you need to do more editing. You need to put out more social media posts, even if it's just with the message. Like, hey, Mike, we like how you speak to the people. We like how you deliver messages to us. Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and hear more of that.
That's a fact.
Stay on him, so he can definitely help out a little bit more with that until we can find the time and the funds, at least, to hire somebody else to do that. Because I will say that is something that I plan on doing this year. Okay. I want us to actually hire somebody, at least 2 people. Mm. I'm putting that out there now. Y'all can hit us up if you know how to edit and you're in the Metro Atlanta area. Hit us up. But for now, I mean, I'm looking at getting 2 people to help us with the show.
Please.
I want one person to edit the full episode, right? One full episode after we record it, and then I want another person to start to edit the clips.
I think that'd be good. So,
hey, I mean, it comes in handy, and I think that that's something that we need.
Yeah, I think that'd be good, actually.
So, 2 people, hit us up, especially if we know y'all. That'll be something even better. But if it's somebody that we don't, actually, y'all can hit us up. I have 2 people in mind right now that I just thought about, but still, everybody else, y'all can hit us up, and we'll take it from there.
And if you don't know where to hit us up, you can hit us up at residualimpactpodcast@gmail.com and or on IG at Residual Impact Podcast or Residual Impact. And I mean, I guess you can hit us up on TikTok. I don't be on TikTok like that. So.
Again, that goes back to the 95% and the 5%.
I guess.
Even though he said 92.
I'll admit, I'm just not that. That's not me.
It's all good. I understand that, but at the same time, we have a business to run.
I mean, this is why we need to hire some people to like.
That is true.
Because that's the area where I can admit I'm weak at. When it comes to TikTok, it's like it's either you on TikTok or you not on TikTok. Because when you want it, you want it.
And your sister has sent us 6 DMs, and that's not my sister, so I'm not opening the messages. I need you to take a look at that.
She's a TikToker. She be sending me TikToks, and sometimes I watch them, sometimes I don't.
Well, talk to her about that, because that's not my sister. If it was my sister, I would do it.
It's just you get lost in TikToks. That's why I don't get on TikTok too much. TikTok is like a hole. It's like a dark hole. If you don't watch out, you get just like drawn into it.
Since you guys have seen that, though, it's a moment that we can't reenact because it's not going to be authentic. However, I will blame it on what Jamie Foxx said. Blame it on the alcohol, because literally we have taken 3 shots of rum since before we even pressed the record on the cameras and on the audio. So I will say that this will be the first and last time that we probably have.
Oh gosh.
First and the last time that we probably have any liquor on the show.
Well, speak for himself. All right, he was the one who did not press the record button. Okay, because I was prepared. All right,
Because you don't have to press any buttons except for record on your camera.
Hey, but the record button was pressed. All right.
So was mine, just not the audio.
Hey,
We have video footage, but no audio.
which we could drop that. We just will sound like how we did when we first.
We will sound very far away, like how some of the people are watching us on Instagram live right now. It's probably going to sound kind of far away. Like they can hear us, but it's not going to be as crisp or as clear as everybody who's going to hear us on the podcast platforms or on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if we make a mistake, people watching on IG Live will catch every single mistake that we make.
They know.
Versus everybody who watches us after we edit everything, when everything is flawless and seamless.
I don't know if I like this live thing yet. Bruh. People see everything.
And they can't hear the sound effects. They
Oh,
can't hear the bruhs. They can't hear the hand claps. They can't hear
none
the
of
stop
that,
the
huh?
caps. They can't hear none of that.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
But it's okay because the people like us. How many people we got on live right now? Oh, that's beautiful. Better than none.
One? We got one?
Give or take.
Okay, all right, I'll take that. Yeah.
Give or take. But hey, thank you for whoever's tuning in on Instagram Live right now. We greatly appreciate you. I will say we're probably going to stop the live and just continue with the episode. Just keep going with the episode. But thank you. Signing out. Peace. Back to the show. You can put that down now. Nobody's...
Bruh. Yeah, that's me. I was I guess. Hey, shout out to me. Shout out to me for tuning in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Had to get some support, man. Hey, the people don't know that though.
No
Keep it on the
more
low.
liquor.
Yo,
No more rum.
bro, we ain't even got the one episode.
Bruh.
Yo, come on, man.
Gosh, yo. Oh man.
All right, let's finish this episode, man.
We're here now. We're here. We're gonna see it through because, hey, that's a testament to how some people's years start. Some people actually start the year off on not such a good foot. I won't say a bad foot, but some people don't start the year off well.
Mm-hmm.
Some people actually start the year off amazing, but later on down the line, their year could shift. Their time could change. Something could go wrong or something could go right.
That's a fact.
Things aren't always going to go the way that you plan. They're not. They're not. But you still got to see it through. And that's the same thing I want to say with anybody who is still with us in 2024. There are people who were here with us in 2023 who thought that they were going to see 2024, but they didn't get a chance to. We all made it. If you're watching this, you made it. Mike and I, we are here. We made it. So thank you for sticking with us because we're not perfect, but we still have a job to do. We're still on this planet for a reason. We are still living these lives that we have for a reason. We still have a message to get across.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And we still have many things to accomplish, man.
I cannot disagree with anything you said.
Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about this episode was the number 100. Because again, in addressing our goals, I said that I wanted to make sure we hired a couple people to help us edit because I can't do it by myself. Mike can't do the few edits that he makes. No shade to him. I'm not shading him, but he knows. I can't do 95% of the edits.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
But in addition to hiring 2 new people so that they can help us edit,
Yeah.
I also want us to hit 100 episodes. I'm not going to go into too much detail with that because I know we touched on it in the previous episode, the last episode. Shout out to every single one of you guys who tuned in for the 2023 wrap up. We greatly appreciate it. But I will say that I want us to hit 100 episodes. that's something that's kind of like been on my mind for at least the last year and a half, maybe. Like, I think we should have hit it at the beginning of 2023, but that's okay. You know, we took a big break in 2022 when I started working a different position in the last job that I had. And that took quite a bit of time away from us, recording time anyway. But then we also took a bit of a break last year when we lost a couple of the spots that we used to record at. And if you guys haven't heard that story, go back and listen to, I think we mentioned it in episode 72 or 73. Watch both of them if you haven't done so already anyway. But we've talked about it before, so you guys should know, you know, what happened and what led us up to this point. But definitely 100 episodes, that's going to happen this year. That's a fact. It's going to happen.
I know it's definitely a monumental goal, and I know that we'll reach it. You know me, I'm just one episode at a time. The fact that we're at even 70 plus episodes in itself is a accomplishment in itself. So it's like, for me, I'm grateful just to be here, but I know that 100th is going to be a special episode. So I'm happy to reach that. And man, it's like I said, to even look back at where we started, it's a lot of growth. So I know even when we get to 100, we're going to look different than what we look like now, even at 70 something episodes. That's a fact. Yeah,
I can't wait till we get there. But yeah, one episode at a time, that's cool for me, man, because that's really all it takes to hit any goal.
Let's do it, man.
But speaking of the number 100, man, I definitely want to touch on something that I know a lot of people typically like to think about during the start of every new year. Do they keep up with it? Probably not. But one thing that's on everybody's mind, really, essentially, is health, fitness. That's something that a lot of people think about at the end of a previous year, like, oh, my New Year's resolution is I want to get back in the gym, I want to lose this much weight, or I want to gain this much weight and muscle, or I want to, you know, shape my body to make my body look like this. That's something that's on a lot of people's minds, right? When it comes to the number 100, I was listening to this podcast. Shout out to Nice and Neat, the podcast. These brothers are based out of Los Angeles, California. And I don't know if any one of you guys listen to this podcast, but if either one of you guys do, shout out to you brothers out there. Y'all are doing your thing. As of this recording, they just dropped their 99th episode. So they're about to hit 100. Of course, after this episode drops, I'm sure they would have been hit 100. So kudos to you brothers. Shout out to y'all. Keep doing your thing. But the reason why I brought y'all up is because I know episode 93, they had a brother on the show by the name of Dr. Bobby Price, a.k.a. Dr. Holistic. And this brother was on the show dropping gems, and it was so insightful. It taught me so much that I had never knew of before I listened to that episode. So again, I want to give those brothers the kudos, their flowers, man, whatever the case may be. And shout out to Dr. Bobby Price, because with this one, he talked a lot about health, because he's not only a doctor, but he's vegan. And when he talked about the things that he goes through, or the things that he at least puts in his body as a vegan, as far as like the nutrients and the food that he eats that gives him certain nutrients and vitamins and stuff like that, he made a lot of sense. And one part of the show that really stuck out to me was when he talked about blue zones. Have you ever heard of that term before?
Nope.
Okay. So according to what I heard in that episode, and I'll touch on this a little bit more in a few minutes, but the blue zones are places in the world where the most centenarians, and I'm probably butchering that word. I think I'm saying it correctly, but the most centenarians live.
What is that?
And a centenarian is essentially a person who lives to be 100 years old or older. So there are probably more, but there are at least 5 original blue zones in the world, right? One of them is in Okinawa, Japan. Another one, and I'm probably going to butcher these names, so please, if y'all are from these places, forgive me. Another one is Sardinia, Italy. Another one is Nicoya, Costa Rica. Another one is Icaria, Greece. And the last one is in Loma Linda, California. So those 5 areas are known as the original blue zones, to where they have the most people in those areas that live to be 100 years old or older. And when he talked about these blue zones, again, that was the first time I had ever heard about them. He talked about how I think he came across these studies that showed that these people live to be 100 years old or older because of the diet that they had, because of the lifestyle that they live. Number one thing that I've noticed when I've done my own research on the blue zones is that these people tend to farm their own food. They grow their own produce. They barely eat any animals, if they eat animals at all. Most of them are either vegetarian or vegan, but for the most part, I would say that they were vegan. Mm-hmm. But they consume a lot of their minerals, their vitamins, stuff like that. They get them from plants. Mm-hmm. And it's not like they eat like processed plant-based foods. Like, no, they'll grow their own carrots. They grow their own potatoes and stuff like that. They grow their own produce and they consume it. And not only will the fact that they eat those foods help them live to 100 plus, but the fact that they farm their own food, they grow their food, they go out there, they plant the seeds, they water it, they harvest the crops, they're constantly going out there watering and checking on it, they're walking and stuff like that. They're not driving everywhere, but all of these things combined will help them live to be 100 plus. Mm-hmm. And you know, when I listened to this podcast episode, it was kind of hard for me to picture it until I ended up watching a show on Netflix. And of course, they're not sponsoring us, but I will say, if you guys want some of the information that I have seen or heard of when I think of blue zones or when I do research on blue zones, like there's this show on Netflix that my lady actually put me on to. It's called Live to 100, Secrets of the Blue Zones. And like I said, my lady actually sent me this video on Netflix. She told me about it because I sent her the Nice and Neat podcast episode that mentioned blue zones. Mm-hmm. And overnight, she changed her diet. She changed her eating habits. So far, she told me she's lost at least 10 pounds. Wow. Now, I haven't been as consistent with my diet as she has been, you know, but she, like I said in a previous episode, you know, she definitely cooks a lot. Like she cooks quite a bit. She cooks like every day, and it's great. Her cooking is delicious. Like I'm not gonna lie, I love it. Yeah. But since we've listened to this podcast episode and we've watched a few episodes of that Netflix show together, learning more about the blue zones and learning more about the diets and the stuff that they eat in those blue zones, we've actually started incorporating that stuff in our diet more.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
So I will say that 100 is definitely a good number. So shout out to everybody who lives to be that age, because not everybody does.
No, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? That's a blessing.
Yeah, most definitely.
So I will say, you know, let's give it up to those people who
definitely
are living to those ages and more. So if y'all haven't watched that show before, definitely go ahead and check it out. Definitely go ahead and watch that show. I think there's only like 4 episodes, but it's very informative. And of course, if y'all haven't listened to Nice and Neat, the podcast, y'all go ahead and check those brothers out. Listen to their podcast. Definitely go and listen to episode 93, where Dr. Bobby Price drops some gems, and he talks a lot about the type of things that we as a people should be putting in our body and the things that we should not be putting in our body. Because of course, in the Black community, we talk a lot about certain things that run in our family, you know, like, and we just think that it's uncontrollable. Like, oh, heart problems may run in our family. Heart disease, high cholesterol may run in our family, or obesity may run in our family, or whatever the case may be. We'll always come up with an excuse as to something that may, quote unquote, run in our family. But in all actuality, it most likely probably does not run in your family. It's just the stuff that we consume. Like, how many generations in our family consume soul food?
A lot.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love me some soul food. I ain't gonna lie. Love me some mac and cheese. Love me some collard greens. Mm-hmm. You know, fried chicken. I love all of that. But when we actually take the time to think about it, those foods, even though they are delicious, they're seasoned extremely well. They're slowly adding on to many of the problems that we have as a people in terms of heart disease, high cholesterol, obesity. Like I know we've touched on a previous episode. I don't know if it was 70 or 71, but I know we talked about, briefly how some countries outside of the United States, they've banned a lot of foods that we consume here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So we got to think about that. But I'm mainly focused on us, brothers and sisters. I'm focused on us because I want to see us improve more. Like I improve overall. I want to see us fix our diets. I want to see us fix our health.
Please.
And live longer.
Please do. It's time, man. It's definitely time. So that's one of the things. That's one of my goals. It's definitely for this year is to introduce people more just to different type of foods that you don't know what your body is actually asking for. So I'm definitely on that wave, man. It's definitely time. But we don't know what we don't know. So we got to educate us.
So I will say, if you don't know where to start there. Go ahead and check out Nice and Neat, the podcast, episode 93. And then go ahead, if you have a Netflix account or if you're using somebody else's Netflix account, go ahead and check out that show, Live to 100. All right. It's very insightful. It'll help you out. And it might even inspire you to change your diet, change your eating habits. It might put you on the right path.
Netflix lame. They kicked me off my mama account.
All right. Enough with the salt. We are good. You know,
we had a good thing going. Like, come on, bro. Why you gotta mess up with something good?
Bruh.
That's what I was saying.
Anyway, speaking of 100, I want to give a major shout out to my Aunt Mina, right? This is my grandmother's eldest sister who is still living. She is 1 out of 11 children. Unfortunately, my grandmother is no longer living, but her eldest sister is going to turn 100 years old as of this recording. She's going to return 100 years old in a few days. So I'm sure after this episode drops, she would have already hit 100, but I don't know if she's going to see this. I don't know if any of my relatives are going to see this or listen to it, but shout out to that woman. You know what I'm saying? 100.
That's amazing.
She was born in 1924. She's seen a lot, I'm sure. She's been through a lot, I'm sure. And that's a blessing.
Heck yeah, man. What? 100 years old? That's 70 plus years on me, bro. She's lived my life at least 3 times.
Right.
That's wild to think. She's lived my life 3 times. I think I done a lot. I ain't even did nothing.
Right.
So yeah.
So shout out to her. Unfortunately, her birthday celebration is in New Jersey and I couldn't make it. But hey, kudos to her and the family. If anybody is listening to this, make sure y'all get this message to my auntie. I love you. Here's to many, many more years. Like 100 is a major blessing. I'm so grateful for you in my life. I'm glad that you've made it to 100. And again, I wish you many, many, many more. That's major. So happy birthday, auntie. I greatly appreciate you and everything you taught me. So yeah, man, for sure.
Big facts, big facts.
Speaking of, man, here's a way to not live to 100. There's a couple of different posts that have popped up on Instagram, man, especially since, I'm sure they pop up often, but because my lady and I are really watching what we put in our bodies, right? There's one thing that she sent me that she just kind of like frowned upon, right? And it was it was mainly because of the comments. But looking at this Instagram post right here, this was posted by Essence of Black Culture. Looks like they took a screenshot from Twitter. And it looks like it's a couple of plates here. One of them looks like mac and cheese, yams, fried fish, 2 pieces of fried fish, and yellow rice. Now, Mike, if you're looking at the same picture, you'll see that that looks like a pretty good plate, don't it?
Yeah, it do.
And the plate on the right looks like pretty much the same thing, but instead of fried fish, it looks like some fried chicken on top of the yellow rice. Mm-hmm. But that right there looks like enough food to feed 2, maybe 3 people.
Right.
It's at least 3. I would say at least 2 different meals, right?
Okay.
And the caption, or the tweet rather, that goes with these pictures, it said, this popped up on my Explore page, and I just wanted to have a chat with my people. If we don't change, our back's going to be big forever. Our plates shouldn't be beige and orange from fried and starchy foods. And the comments, again, my girl sent this to me because of the comments, right? First of all, the caption from Essence of Black Culture states, my people, do y'all hear something? And you got some people in the comments talking about here for a good time, not a long time.
Bruh. Lord have mercy.
129 likes. Somebody else said low vibrational platters once a week are good for the soul. But are they really though? Another person said not one damn thing. It's nothing wrong with indulging every so often. Moderation is the key. I'm just saying. Another person said, I don't know about y'all, but I don't hear nothing but food calling my name. Somebody else commented and said, I'm in full agreement because that place missing collard greens.
Makes me sleepy. Bruh. That's the plate when you're done with that. You definitely, you ain't doing too much, man. I mean, for me personally, I don't eat a lot of fried food nowadays. Just because when you start to eat different stuff, you realize how you should feel when you're done eating. So certain things like this is like, man, I know it's flavorful, but just looking at it, I'm like, man, that's salty. That's probably it's man, it got a lot going on, but I mean, it's moderation. Like I said, I think it's moderation. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that plate. I think it's something, it definitely feeds the soul. You got to feed the soul sometimes, but I think at other times too, you have to make sure, okay, this isn't something I should definitely be consuming too much. But yeah, it's just the plate just make me sleepy. That's all. That's the best way I can describe it. It just makes me tired.
Hey, I will say that just looking at these plates give me high cholesterol already.
Yeah.
I would definitely have to split it up.
I need some hot sauce on the left one. Definitely need some hot sauce. I can already tell. Need that red hot. Give me that red hot.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I need that red hot. Right. Give me a fork and a red hot. I can already. I'm straight. Like I'm telling you, a fork and red hot. I probably take a ginger ale. I'm good on that first plate right there.
Why ginger ale? Just curious.
That's my drink of choice. Sometimes I need a soda with that. You don't need no water with that. You need some type of carbonated beverage to wash that down with.
So why not carbonated water?
Oh no, that ain't gonna work. You need a Coke or you need a ginger ale. Dr. Pepper will be the last choice of option. If not, I'll take a sweet tea. Cause you might as well go ahead and finish it off. If you there, you might as well finish off with that sweet tea.
All right. We're not here to talk about all of that because we literally just had a discussion about making it to 100 years old.
Yes.
Even though I know
still making 100 with that.
I was about to say, even though I know my auntie, I know that she was able to throw that in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And she still made it to 100. I know she had these plates. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget when I was growing up in New York, there were times where every February when I was in middle school and I had spring break, I was able to go to her house. I stayed there for a week. Good food, great food, fried chicken, like every time. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember much else of what else she cooked, but I remember her fried chicken
bussin',
to say the least.
I'm already knowing.
Bussin', right?
That's how I go.
So for sure, man, I know she ate some of this food. And I know we talked earlier about chitlins and stuff like that. I'm not gonna say that she ate it. She might have. Because I'm sure if my grandmother ate it, this is my grandmother's sister. Yeah. She probably ate it too. But, you don't get to 100 eating this type of food over and over and over and over and over again.
That's a fact.
So moderation might be the key.
That is a fact.
But still, again, like the portion size.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. The portion size on that is wild. That's
like it's busting out of the to-go plate.
Yeah, that's wild. That's definitely can feed 2-3 people. 2 or 3 times you're gonna reheat that up.
Right. But anyway, I say that to say, ladies and gentlemen, we got to be careful of the things that we put in our body. We are by no means a nutrition podcast, but we are a couple brothers here who do want to see a change in our community. All right. I'm tired of all of our backs being big. mine included. I'm speaking for myself, most definitely. And I'm changing my eating habits so that not only, when I get in the gym, it's not just going to be me working out, but one major key to losing weight, because that's my goal. I know, Mike, you want to get bigger. You want to, you want to pack on some muscle. You want to pack on some pounds, whatever. But I've said this before. I'm envious of you and how much you can eat and not really gain any weight.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I know I want to lose weight. So a key to that is not just me going to work out, but it's changing my eating habits.
Yeah.
And then working out.
Yeah.
So I say that to anybody else who's going through anything similar to what I'm going through. Like, we got to change our eating habits. We got to do better in that department. So that way, we can start to live longer. We can see more of us making it to 100 plus.
Yes. 100 sounds so like far off, and yeah, that sounds like a phenomenon, but yeah, should be more normal.
It should be.
Yeah, man, I don't know, bro. Like I said, when you start to eat certain things and you start to put certain things in your body that it really speaks to it, and you see how you feel, it's just certain stuff doesn't please the palate anymore.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of wild.
But aside from that, man, I definitely wanted to put those things into this show because, again, I want us to do better. I want us to have more control over the things that we consume. Maybe not everybody's trying to live to 100 years old, but for those of us who do want longer lasting lives, we have to do whatever we can to get there.
Yes.
And a part of that is going to be your diet, especially, like I said before, everybody before the new year, they always have New Year's resolutions like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. We joke about it often. January of a new year, the gyms are packed. Come February,
slow down.
Not even by a little bit, but by a lot. Some of the same people who started their gym memberships in January, they stopped by February.
March.
If that.
It's back to its normal
normal clientele.
Yeah, that right there.
That's crazy to me. But hey, such is life. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. But I just want to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are listening and y'all are watching, that you understand that we need to change. Not only do we need to change our diet, but there's something that I know that a lot of people have been talking about leaving in 2023 that would also help us heal and live a lot longer.
Yes. Such as?
According to social media in general, there are certain things in the content creation space that really get a lot of people riled up. And I know I've talked about it briefly in episode 73. I know we touched on, Mike, what you have called like low vibrational content, essentially. And it's content that is consumed because it was created with the idea of bringing the drama in mind, right? It was created to elicit conversation, to elicit a response based on emotion. That's good. Y'all need to write that down if you haven't already. But it's created to elicit a response based on emotion. Like, you watch the content or you listen to the content and it riles up your emotions and you want to react to it based on how that content made you feel. Not how it made you think, but how it made you feel. And one huge component of that content, I will say, is the gender wars. Now, that's something that's been going on for years. And it is something that a lot of people are tired of, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who are still going to have these same conversations regarding gender and relationships and how things should operate from a man's perspective or from a woman's perspective. No matter how many people say that they're tired of it, nobody's ever really truly tired of it. But I will say that I agree with the message that this one brother kind of shared really about the gender wars. And I would like to say shout out to the Daily Wrap-Up crew. As of this recording, I've received some, bad news regarding one of the members of the Daily Wrap-Up crew. I don't know if you listen to them or if you've been keeping up with them, ladies and gentlemen, or even you, Mike, but one of the brothers on the show, supposedly might have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he ended up getting shot. So I've been in touch with one of the brothers. Shout out to Eli. I've been in touch with Eli, checking on Jew. Jew was the one who they informed us was hospitalized due to his injuries. And I've been checking on Jew. So, last I checked with Eli, Jew's making a recovery, man. He survived. He's doing much better. I'm going to reach out to Eli again soon and check up on Jew. But, fellas, if y'all stumble upon this episode, man, next time y'all are in Atlanta, let's link up. Let's do something, man. Let's record an episode together. Or the next time we in New York, we would love to stop by the show, be featured on the show, or just chill. Let's kick it, man. But shout out to Jew, man. I hope you make a full recovery, brother. And, want to see you guys back on your feet again, because I really enjoy your show. I listen to the show religiously, for sure.
Dang, yeah, that's kind of wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. I was definitely shocked because, I've had conversations with them before. And I know, and I'm getting off the topic a little bit, but I'm going to get right back to it. I know before Drew went through what he went through, we had I think they posted something on the Instagram, and they were talking about, in the clip, Drew was talking about how he didn't quite know his purpose in life yet. And he felt like he might have been a little bit behind because he didn't quite know his purpose yet. I think he's like 32 or 33 years old, so he's about our age. And I commented and I said, the journey is definitely well worth it. Like, that's something that should be cherished, even though you might not know what you're supposed to do in life. Part of the beauty in it is the journey to get to that point. Mm-hmm. And his response was something along the lines of, hopefully we all find our purpose soon. The next thing I heard, the brother had been shot. But again, like I heard last time when I spoke to his co-host Eli, he is recovering. He's awake and he's doing better than he was before.
First things first, man, I want to say that Ben was supposed to make this video. I've been procrastinating a little bit, only because it's a hard situation to talk about for me. But I do want to say I appreciate everybody. Well wishes, love, prayers, thoughts, even checking up on me from time to time. Even the money that was donated to me to get back on my feet, which is well needed. Everything is appreciated. You know what I'm saying? I just, I've been a victim of a shooting, been shot multiple times, didn't know if I was going to make it, but I am here. And I think your prayers and your thoughts and your well wishes was a part of that. So I just wanted to take the time to say, while I'm still recovering, thank you. I appreciate everything, and can't wait till I'm back out there, man. And all the people that support me, keep supporting, and keep me in your prayers, man. I still need it. I'm not fully to the point where I need to be, but and I will share my story with you guys. I will share my experience. I hear there's a lot of different opinions on what happened, and I want to tell you guys what really happened, because there's people that's going through same situations, and that's just who I am. So when I get to the strength and the time to get everything focused in for you guys, man, I just want to say I love all the love that I've been getting. And
But I bring up those brothers because this first clip that I wanted to share was from their show. And this was when they had Dr. Umar on their show. And he had this to say about the gender war. Y'all check this out.
I would not be surprised if we learned 20, 30 years from now that the domestic gender war was inspired by the FBI, just as the FBI gave birth to COINTELPRO back in the 70s and 60s to disrupt and destroy the credibility and success of Black liberation movements. I could very well see where COINTELPRO or something similar to it could have also been invented to turn the Black woman against the Black man and the Black man against the Black woman. The family is an institution, no different than SNCC, no different than CORE, no different than the Panthers, no different than the Garvey movement, no different than the Freedom Riders. But I really do believe that at some point we're going to find out that the U.S. government had a hand in the gender wars and the promotion of it, because I don't think it's a coincidence that this Black male versus Black female gender war is being initiated at the very same time that the U.S. government is pushing transgenderism on elementary Black public school children.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past governmental forces to have a plan like that. Because I mean, if you look at it, just look at our political system. It's a division. It's nothing is working together. Which, if we work together, we'll actually get to a common goal. So I wouldn't doubt it. I think as long as you keep us divided, we can't be strong. So I haven't done much information and much research on what he's talking about specifically, but like I said, I would not put it past. I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, these things, they could be real. They could actually happen. So I'm just not gonna say, hey, that's too far gone to think about. But yeah, he's probably right.
I don't know. Maybe he's partially correct. Maybe he knows more than we do. I don't know for sure. I mean, and I can't say that they have, a lot to do with what's going on, but there is somebody behind this. I know that for a fact. There has to be.
Bro, I mean, if you really think about it, right? I mean, and I know this isn't just for the black family, but I mean, we're largely proportionally affected by this. If you look at welfare, when you think about welfare, if a mother and child gets on welfare, they're able to get it as long as a father is not present in the home.
Right.
Like that's a true thing. So why would you not want a father to be present in the home if you know this father can possibly affect the family structure? If he's gone, but yet we'll give you this money, but he cannot be there, one or two is going to happen. Like something's going to happen adversely from that effect. So to me, that's a governmental structure that's put into place that they know, bro. I mean, if we can figure that out and put two and two together, so can a agency that has billions of dollars to flood into research can put that two to two together. So yes, that's why I do believe that is possible, for that they can have something put into place to confuse people. Because I mean, in my opinion, I'm not political, but there should be no reason why they should have like certain transgender talks in middle school and elementary school.
Right.
Your brains aren't even developed, bro. As a kid, I'm worrying about my bike, going out and riding my bike. I don't need to know about sexuality at an elementary stage. So that's why I do believe that there is a bigger agenda that's in place. So, but that's just my opinion.
And I can agree with you on that. I can see where you're coming from with that. I will say that there's a lot that goes on that's really beyond our control. And a part of that is because, I don't know, there's something that some people want to see accomplished in this world, or at least in this country. And it's beyond a lot of our control. Yep. And it's most likely going to stay that way until we as a collective decide to do something about it.
Yep.
And to that, I say that we just need to be more united instead of divided. Now, I will agree that the gender war can be pretty tiring. It can be pretty toxic. But with that in mind, I will also say that some of it is needed, and not from the stance of a war, right? But I will say what's needed is us brothers coming out and speaking our mind as far as what we might not like when it comes to dating in 2024. Right? What comes to our mind and what we don't particularly care for, or even the changes that we would like to see to make dating much better on us and make dating much better on our partners, and vice versa. For the women, I don't mind hearing women speak about how they may not like certain things that we as men do as far as dating goes, and what changes they may like to see coming from us in 2024 as far as making the dating scene better. My thing is, instead of just having a constant back and forth with no resolution whatsoever, I want us men to speak our piece, and I want the women to speak their piece, and us men listen to what the women have to say, and the women listen to what us men have to say, and we meet in the middle and have a conclusion. We come to some common ground. We decide that we will not only tolerate some of the BS that we put each other through, but we won't put each other through some of the BS that some of us are sick and tired of dealing with. Now, I know, Mike, you've been off the dating scene for a while. Kudos to you, brother. We talked about this in the past. I've told you before how I thought dating was trash until I met my lady. She doesn't listen to the show like that, so I will say that she knows how I feel about the dating world. Before the two of us met, she knows how I feel about it. But in all actuality, it was tough even finding her. You know how we met.
Yes.
And I wasn't even planning on meeting anybody. And imagine if we never met when we met, I probably still would have been out here in these streets. I mean, not wilding out because I wasn't wilding out to begin with, but I would constantly, I would go on dates here and there and just be like, oh, well, that wasn't working for me, or this is not right, or this person is not a good fit. Like, it would just be a waste of time, in my opinion.
I mean, it was a waste of time. It was more so like you just weeding out certain things.
At the expense of my pockets.
I mean, of course, sometimes, hey, you got to pay to play, That's what they say. So that's all that was. You just had to pay.
You're right. And that's just me kind of being cheap at the moment because I told myself that one of my financial advisors for this year was going to be Julius from Everybody Hates Chris.
Nah, that's a fact, bro. That's 29 cents worth of spilt milk dripping on my carpet. Somebody going to drink that.
So yeah, for those of y'all who watched that show, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the show, that's Terry Cruz's character on that show. And
I relate. I relate, bro. Trust me. I promise you I do. I get it now, man.
But yeah, man, for sure. Like my girl hates it. She hates it when I do stuff like that or when I say stuff like that. But sometimes it has to be said.
Gotta be said.
It has to be said.
That's 29 cents worth of spilt milk. Somebody gonna drink that. Shout out to Julius, man.
For real. But yeah, definitely that's just something I wanted to throw out there because it is such a quote unquote hot topic, I will say. So many people, they talk about how, we need to leave the gender wars behind. We need to elevate. And I agree. And even in episode 73, you and I talked about putting out more content that's solution based. I want to have sit downs with women on the show, and not only just on the show, but maybe we could come up with some other segments and just have conversations and reach a solution for us right then and there on the spot in hopes that other people will look at us and follow suit and maybe have these conversations with the women in their area. And they can come to solutions and we can just come together because what I want to see most are more black nuclear families, more melanated nuclear families. I want to see more husbands and wives in the same households with their children. I don't want to see, baby mama, baby fathers like all of you, but I don't want to see that anymore. Granted, I know it exists. I'm not saying that it's not going to exist anymore, but I want to see more of what we do not see often.
Amen.
As melanated individuals in this country.
Amen. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
So,
and I will say that other ethnic groups can get it right. Why can't we? And I'm not saying by any means that everybody else is perfect. I'm not saying that, Middle Easterns or Indians or Asians or the Caucasians or whoever else, they're not perfect. The Latinos are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody has that family structure 100%. But I think there's a reason why a lot of other ethnic groups, or racial groups, whatever it is that you want to call them, why they have the sort of advancement in life that they do is because they have families. They have the nuclear families. I get it. Not everything is perfect in the household, but I think that, me personally, I think that I would have been better off if my parents were married and in the same household. That's just me. That's something I've wanted since I was a child. It never happened, but that's something that I think I would have been better off having. And because I didn't have it doesn't mean that the next person doesn't have to have it too. Like, I think that us being adults now, speaking to men who are our age or even slightly younger, we talk about D-discipline often. Yeah. We talk about how we want to see more men practice D-discipline, how we want more men to practice picking their wives wisely, their girlfriends wisely. Don't just get with these women just to have fun.
Please
Next thing you know, you get a call like, hey, I'm pregnant, and it's yours.
Scary call.
Right, because then your next thing is going to be, whose is it?
Yeah.
Is it mine?
Depending on the girl you messing with, then you kind of know. You kind of know.
Right. Okay. I agree with that. But then at the same time, it's like the most important thing is you don't want to have to question.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
You want to make sure that we're out here choosing wisely. Fellas, I know a lot of us, we talk about women not choosing their baby fathers wisely. We have to choose wisely. This is just me as a man holding other men accountable because this is a fact. We have to choose wisely. I'm about to be 35 in a few days as of this recording. After this episode drops, I know my birthday's going to have passed. That's just what it is. It's going to be, said and gone. I'm going to be 35. Shut up. But thankfully, I have no children. Why? Because I practice discipline.
Yeah.
I practice restraint. I practice discernment. I practice safe relations, put it that way. Mm-hmm. But not only that, I'm very selective with who I have relations with. I don't just go out there and hit any girl who's willing to let me hit. I don't. And for you brothers out there, y'all need to have the same type of restraint. Like a lot of y'all do. Like a lot of y'all would just get with somebody just because she's down with it. Don't do that, man, because the last thing you want is to get that call or to get somebody popping up at your doorstep 9 months plus later talking about some meet junior.
Meet junior.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want that call. You don't want that pop up.
Hey,
you don't want to be in a committed relationship with somebody new and you got to find out that you have a baby mother and a child. That as soon as you do that DNA test, it is yours. You don't want that.
Tighten up.
So strap up, choose your partners wisely, show restraint, be selective. Fellas, stay on your grind, stay on your focus, stay on your purpose.
That's a fact.
So, man, we've said quite a bit this episode. And of course, we went through quite a bit before the episode officially even started.
Yes.
But with that in mind, brother, do you have anything else that you want to leave on the people who are listening and watching us today?
Man, just appreciate each day that you get. Realize you got a chance, and the chance that you get is when you wake up in the morning and you realize, oh man, hold on, I'm alive. That's the chance. And the choice is the decisions that you make within the day. That often will lead to get you to where you're going. So just remember that you got a chance and you got a choice each day. Use it wisely.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will say that this has been a great one, even though I made a huge mistake at the beginning of said episode, and we'll see how we might want to release that footage at a later date. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode that we have put together. Episode, what was it, 74?
Something like that.
Nope.
Episode 75. 75, ladies and gentlemen. We greatly appreciate each and every single one of you for tapping in. And again, Happy New Year. Here's to 2024. Let's have a productive one, a great one. If you haven't bought a calendar yet, if you haven't bought a planner yet, go ahead and get those things. Write your goals down, put a date on it, and let's make it happen. Let's execute this year for sure.
Ooh, Residualimpact calendar is coming soon.
And then some. Yeah. And with that being said, we cannot leave without saying,
you are today. Wait, you are? Oh.
Bruh.
You really are sleepy, huh?
Where you are today. Okay.
Let's start that off.
Wow. Where you are today
is a residual outcome
of the thoughts you had
in the past
from the blast.
Bruh.
Hey, mama. How are you?
I don't even know what to say after that.
Oh,
Until
man.
next time. Peace.
Check my mixtape out on livemixtapes.com.